नमस्कार, मैं आरबी सिंह यादव और आप देख रहे हैं मेरा यूट्यूब चैनल आरबी सिंह यादव एडिटर। आज दयालबाग विश्वविद्यालय का जो इंटरनेशनल सेमिनार था जिसमें 7 विश्वविद्यालयों ने भाग लिया, उस पर बात करेंगे और यह वीडियो हमारा तीसरा होगा। 2 वीडियो हम पहले डाल चुके हैं जिसमें आपने बहुत सारी चीज़ें देखी। इस वीडियो को जापान के बंदोपाध्याय डॉक्टर बंदोपाध्याय ने अपना जो उनका अनुभव था, जो उनका पेपर था, उसको पढ़ा, बाकायदे सारी चीज़ें सामने रखी। तो खैर, ये वीडियो आपको अच्छा लगे तो इसे लाइक करते हुए चैनल को सब्सक्राइब जरूर कर लें। अब हम चलते हैं सीधे डीआई के इंटरनेशनल सेमिनार हॉल में, जहां पर ये कार्यक्रम संपन्न हो रहा है। तो चलिए देखते हैं।
I warmly welcome you all to the 7th Dayalbag Science, Art and Engineering of Evolutionary and Re-Evolutionary Consciousness. This winter session is held each year on the 1st of January. The first day of January holds special meaning for Dayalbag. On this day, in 1916, education began as a co-educational middle school, an uncommon and courageous step for its time. The revered founder, His Holiness Sir Anand Swarup Ji, envisioned education not merely as the transmission of knowledge, but as the formation of complete humans who are capable of fulfilling both their spiritual and worldly responsibility, serving the present generation while consciously preparing for those who are yet to come. This ideal was later formally embedded in the academic life of Dayalbag through the education policy of 1975, drafted by the Revered Dr. Mukund Bihari Lal Sahab, the founding director of Dayalbag Educational Institutions and the 7th spiritual master of the Radha Swami faith, Dayalbag. In recognition of this enduring legacy, the 1st of January is observed as Education Day across Dayalbag and its educational institutions. Today, this living tradition is most graciously guided by the present 8th acclaimed spiritual master, Revered Professor Prem Saran Satsangi Sahab. Under his guidance, Dayalbag is consciously moving from being a knowledge society to becoming a wisdom society, where learning is not measured only by information or skill, but by discernment, compassion, and responsibility. The emphasis is on nurturing individuals who are not just human, but are also deeply humane, guided by love, empathy, equality, and a sincere spirit of service to humanity. One expression of this vision is the Superhumane Evolutionary Scheme, which begins nurturing these values from early childhood. This evening, you will witness a glimpse of this approach through a cultural presentation by some of the children associated with this program. The DSC platform brings together researchers, educators, students, and thinkers from science, engineering, and the arts to reflect together and create ideas that may contribute to the uplift of humanity. It also offers young learners the invaluable opportunity to observe, feel inspired, and find direction by engaging with their senior peers. Without taking much more time, it is now my honor to invite Professor Sukhdev Roy to kindly chair the much-awaited plenary address by Dr. Anirban Bandyopadhyay from NIMS, Japan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Most revered Professor Prem Saran Satsangi Sahab, most respected Mrs. Satsangi, esteemed guests, distinguished speakers and delegates. I welcome you all to this session. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our plenary speaker, Dr. Anirban Bandyopadhyay, who is a senior scientist in the National Institute for Material Science, Kuba, Japan. He possesses a Master's of Science in Condensed Matter Physics, Computer Numerical Analysis and Astrophysics from North Bengal University and PhD from the Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science, Kolkata, in 2005, where he worked on supramolecular electronics and multi-level switching. Dr. Bandyopadhyay has developed a resonance chain-based complete human brain model that is fundamentally different than Turing tape, essentially developing an alternate human brain map where filling gaps in the resonance chain is the key. he has developed a unique quantum music measurement machine and experiments on DNA proteins, microtubules, neurons, molecular machines, and cancer. Dr. Bandyopadhyay has also developed a new frequency fractal model. His group has designed and synthesized several forms of organic brain jelly that learns programs and solves problems by itself for futuristic robots, as well as several software simulators that write complex codes by themselves. So with this brief introduction, I welcome Dr. Anirban Bandyopadhyay to give his plenary talk on SPUN as a dynamical substrate, a system theoretic and neurophenomenological reinterpretation of Kashmir Shaivism via the SPUN Karika and Vigyan Bharat. Dr. Anirban Bandyopadhyay, please.
Okay, so thank you very much for inviting me today, and it's always an honor to come to the Albad and present talk. Just let me know if you are able to see the screen beyond sound Bhairava. Are you able to see it?
Yeah, it's clear, please.
Can you see it colorful spheres and beyond sound Bhairava is written?
There are no colors, it's a black and white slide.
Okay. When I stop sharing and I share again. Can you see now?
Yes, now it's clear.
You see a circle and nested circles with it?
Yeah, but we would request you to kindly make it full screen.
Yeah, I will make it full screen. I just wanted to make sure that you are seeing exactly the PPT I am presenting.
Right.
Otherwise, you will be seeing something and I will be explaining something else.
Now it's fine, I think.
Yeah, I think it's fine. So 1st January is very important for, I think, Ramakrishna mission, and they call it Kalpataru Day, because on this very day, Ramakrishna got Siddhi. So those who don't know what is Siddhi, one meditation is 12 seconds. So normal human being can concentrate his mind at a single point for around 4 seconds. But with sadhana, you can increase it up to 12 seconds. 12 seconds is one meditation. Now, if you can meditate and do sadhana for 12 years or more, or you remain in that state and work, then you can concentrate your mind for 144 seconds. So then the person is called, he has a Siddhi or Siddha, the person is called Siddha, and the subject is called Siddhai. And today is the day, nearly 150 years back, Ramakrishna Paramahansa got attained for the first time into a state of mind. And when you transfer to that state of mind, then you connect with the whole universe, and there is a very little signature of life form is left in the body, so it becomes very difficult to bring it back. So today, I have chosen a very unique topic, a very unique subject in consciousness. Many of you are already aware about it, that this is just a perspective that I will use to explain the study of consciousness that we have carried out. You see that to the right side of your screen there are geometric shapes, and to the left side of your screen there are rhythms of circle spheres. So we could have structure of light, structure of field, that could be elementary basic topologies in our thought process, because as far as Sankhya philosophy is concerned, they consider Prakriti and Purusha goes for geometric shapes, integers, primes, Vedic numbers and others. So, geometric invariance or topological invariance you are hearing now a lot in the era of LLM or artificial intelligence, when you are hearing that it's the new age resources is not money, it's not a land or anything, it would be invariance. So suppose I have discovered from trillions and trillions of data a set of geometric sets that is there in the screen, and its vibrational dynamics that is in your left in the background picture. And if you look at their interactive map, several big companies are using your data to build up this kind of database. And using those databases, they can explain and they can interpret very complex understanding of nature or future events in a fraction of a second. So this kind of situation was never there in the history of mankind. And we are there. So, as you all know that a Vijnana Vairava Tantra is just like 112 times Parvati asks Shiva and Shiva explains and Parvati doesn't understand every single explanation. So this is a beautiful metaphorical story that you have heard many times in Vijnana Vairava Tantra. But when you go a little deeper, you find that it was classified into many different kind of questions. So the Shiva Parvati conversation basically tells us about something beyond sound, something about rhythm. You have heard the word rhythm, synchronization, synchrony, desynchrony many times in the modern neuroscience, brain science, and you find even a few days back there was a Nature paper by Gregory Lusaki where he says that consciousness is just rhythms. If we think of Kashmir Shaivism and our Vedic and Sanatan Hindu way of understanding consciousness, then it is not the rhythm, it is the gap between the rhythms. The difference between the two is important. And this is where Parvati got confused and were asking Shiva many times. And so please try to understand what is the gap between them. So the whole universe is conscious, okay? So imagine I am conscious. Every single living system that is in the room listening to this online, everybody is conscious. So Kashmir Shaivism considers that everything has this beep, beep, beep. So consciousness is like a heart beating. And in that beating, synchronously, whole universe from top to the bottom, from Virata Purusha to the smallest scale, to the sub-planet scale, everything is beating. But I use the wrong word called synchrony. There is a gap, a phase gap between the rhythms. Each and every conscious thing are interacting, just like many spheres are embedded with each other. and you need to find out the difference between the fields and how this difference is located. It's how you will be able to control them, how you will be able to sense it. And that is the purpose of life, that is the purpose of the universe itself. To be honest, even 2 months back, 2 or 3 months back, I was listening to many people and great scholars. People were talking about Kashmir Shaivism and related topics. But I never personally got deeper into this. But as soon as I started studying this, Kashmir Shaivism and Vigan Vairavatantra, I found that among everything I studied in my entire life, nothing is more beautiful than Vigan Vairavatantra, where the science, the architecture, basic ontology, and the basic premises is so profound and so elegant. Shiva and Parvati are conversing about the management or the engineering of the gap, of this rhythmic gap between every single conscious thing and thoughts and emotion, perception, cognition of the universe. So universe is trying to understand itself, but its secret, the secret recipe is in the gap between these two. So why does sound come here? So Rava is, sound, because in Punjab, I think Punjab they say Rava. So Rava is a very typical word where they use it for God in some part of India, in some cultures, but it means the primordial sound or the kind of Brahman or something like that. But the methods or the way you can engineer it, there are 112 different ways. So as I have written here, the small action of use, the karma, can cause a phase shift between this rhythmic, and it can affect, just like John Archibald Wheeler's participatory universe, it can have cascaded effect at very different layers to the past, present, and the future of the whole universe. This is another thing which I like, because I never thought that John Archibald Wheeler's participatory universe, where suppose those who don't know the theory of participatory universe, the origin of the universe, theory for them is very, very beautiful. I know you all are aware about Wheeler. His 6 students got Nobel Prize, including, of course, he also. And one of his famous students was Richard Feynman. I think all of you have heard about him. So his theory, participatory universe, is something like this. Very interesting experiment. All of you are sitting over there, right? And imagine photon is coming from the earliest time, when the universe was created, the Big Bang or something. Whether it was the CCC, conformal, cyclic conformal mode of creating ions after ions, and then you get seed, and then that seed translates to another universe. Whatever be the way of creating universes after universes, one thing is true, that there will be a primordial set of photons, and that will pass or that will survive. So if it comes to your eyes, say all of us, hundreds of people are here, and we are all looking into that set of photons. Now, if we look at it, what we will find? We will find that that entire as soon as the photon enters my eyes and I do the measurement, so the photon time did not change. So when the universe was created and my eye detected it, and every one of our eyes detected it, then the state of the first initial state of that photon gets changed. That is the principle, the basic principle of quantum mechanics that you study in your textbook. So You see it and you change how the universe got created. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, whether it is true or not, who knows how the universe got created. But I just love reading different philosophies and understanding the basic premises based on which these principles were created. So, I don't ask you to go through all the control knobs, but if you see that sudden stopping, see the light when the gap is there, those who are engineers here, I know many of you are engineers, just forget about the philosophy and other things. Sudden stopping, light visualization, focus looking. You see, you can devise or you can engineer an automation, or you can program an automation to do this. And you see how you modify the whole gap and then embedding of the rhythms one over another to control the extent of consciousness and control the whole universe and its actions and karma is depicted over there. So basically, where we come is not just a sound, but with every single mudra and the dances, you change the electromagnetic field, its evolution, its radiation and others. So this is those who work on antenna, you can use any basic software to do this with every single mudra. So we are building a sound anechoic chamber, one of the most primary sound anechoic chamber and radio frequency anechoic chamber. So you know anechoic chamber a lot, but when we did measure the protein vibrations or microtubule vibrations, then we saw that around particular few megahertz there are resonance peaks. Most of the radio frequency anechoic chambers are gigahertz range because that's very easy to make. But in the megahertz range, suppose even if there is a burst from the heartbeat and little change in the room, even though I want to picture it, if somebody is meditating, somebody is dancing, somebody is doing say yoga, say Shiva Tandava or whatever, I will be able to check it. So it will be one of the unique laboratories in the world, both the labs. And sound we have come to, we are going as low as 70 or 80 hertz, but not just that. If the people are dancing, the 3D evolution of fields will be able to map. So this is the engineering plan. So there will be a big anechoic chamber, then there will be another anechoic chamber, and then there will be another anechoic chamber. And we will reach over there, we will take out sound, we will set sound, and we will take out sound. So we will be able to, so construction is ongoing at this moment in Gujarat University. And we are working for the last 1.5 years with a very, very critical layers of technology. And I would like to tell you with confidence that we first recruited the best engineers who build anechoic chambers, for ISRO and DRDO, and those are very, very inferior compared to IBM or Microsoft level. But what we are building in Gujarat University is much, much more powerful than what Microsoft or IBM has built. And it is biology oriented. So especially the Guru Shishya Parampara and several other key aspects of scriptures that would be cross-checked experimentally. So this is the engineering plan. So we have women's room, and then we have local hospital because of the claustrophobicness, and it is underground. It goes very, very low, deep underground, and the whole auditorium, imagine a big auditorium or a movie theater is converted into 3 layers of anechoic chambers. So there will be a dance floor, and on which there will be dances also. So imagine there are dances and electromagnetic field created. So we will have pixel sensors to 3D map the electronic fields. You all know how to do it. You take CSV software and you publish many papers. Even from Dalbag, many such papers are published and all over India. Many people do PhD in India in this particular field. But I don't know anybody ever did on the basic dance forms or communication moves. So in the 3D or different dances, or if you are talking, then how sound structures are changing single-handedly. We can map and we can study the whole interactions in general. So if we look at the Om, this is Om sound, and you can see that there are 12 different notes, and they are divided into 3 parts, and each part has 4 different notes, and they come together. And it almost the sound structure that with your mouth you will create such that from conch shell, the sound structure or the architecture of hardware conch shell is almost like that. So the structure of sound and structure of the hardware resembles with each other. So if you look at the 3D distribution of sound structure, it's almost like this. So people say that in sound structure we can modify others. So we are hearing this in India for last 7,000, 8,000 years, but nobody tried to create a very, very accurate engineering sensor-based setup to do the measurement. And we are working on it. These are Sanskrit letters. So you know Maharshi Kapil, who has been referred in Vedas for many times. And so Maharshi Kapil wants to say that if we want to understand consciousness, the first thing that we have to do is to invent a language. In the language, the letters should create a sound structure. That structure, when a person hears or takes a bath in that field of sound or some color, then the person gets changed and transformed. And in the mind, the same thought that is in my mind, if I utter only or pronunciate only one letter, that meaning will go. So these Sanskrit letters are A, E, Ka, Ga, Ga, Mo, Cha, Cha, Ja, Ja, Mo, and how it looks like, it feels, we have theoretically created. And in the laboratory, we will experimentally prove. And this is Shiva Tandava. And the Shiva Tandava's 108 dance forms, how different layers of electromagnetic field is generated when the person dances and their dynamics. We have completed all the theoretical simulations, and in future we are creating the adequate chamber to verify how actually the dancers who are doing the 2 dance forms will generate the electromagnetic fields, and how it can affect others, how the person who is generating this electromagnetic field would synchronize with the environment, with nature. Does it really happen? If it happens, in which level, and at which frequencies, where, and how? So the complex forms are there. The movements are very complex. So we have taken years after years to perfect this theoretical models and structures, and we will ask teachers to dance inside the sound and image chamber and RF chamber, and put sensors all over the body to see how electromagnetic field is generated and sound structures are also generated.
Dr. Bandyopadhyay, if you could please...
you know that by measuring the rhythms at different parts of the human body, we created polyatomic time crystal based human brain model, and Komal Saxena, I don't know whether she is present over there, and Daya Krishnananda. So they were instrumental in working with News Japan in building this model of the human brain. Actually, the major part of the Komal Saxena's thesis work was actually done here. And
Dr. Bandyopadhyay, if you could please conclude, huh?
Yeah.
We are out of time. If you could please conclude in a minute.
Yeah, I think that I started 4:30. I will finish at 5.
Yeah, please.
So we went on taking the bus, megahertz bus. This is me. We worked in the Bhopal hospital and monitored when the human is coming back from unconscious state to consciousness. The megahertz bus and other kind of signals are coming out or not. and at which degree. So we found various different kind of subconscious levels in the hospitals, and we monitored them. We took out certain maps because to understand consciousness, it is necessary not only that we communicate with the external universe, but also inside, within. If I go unconscious, then how am I able to build it? So we have seen that the forehead, just here where we put the pillar, where the consciousness starts flowing and unconscious person starts generating from the temporal lobe, and then slowly. Finally, the last part that gets the allocated, the triplet or triplet states, that is the forehead part. And once we got that, worked with NASA also, because if the whole universe is constant, then how will we check the whole universe? I mean, so this is the molecule that we got from asteroid samples between Mars and Jupiter, and we studied and we found triplet of triplets that we observed in unconscious patients, in unconscious humans, and extra terrestrial living system, living or non-living systems. They generate this kind of helical structures, and with basic mathematics, we have generated this triplet or triplet mathematical pattern, which is core structure of consciousness. With that, I would like to thank everybody for listening, and I think that my stipulated time was 25 minutes, and I finished it. So I would like that best wishes for the whole conference. Because of the unfortunate accident of my mother, I could not be physically present. But thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anirban Bandyopadhyay, for a very stimulating talk. The talk is open for our discussion. If anyone would like to ask any questions, make a remark or praise, most welcome. So, in other merciful, unprecedented revelations, he has also disclosed the ultra-transcendental referential points in the brain during the meditation practice of Surat Shad Yoga, and also prepared an audio clip that simulates neurophenomenology of consciousness. So, I think these pioneering contributions have established neurotheology as the art, science, and engineering of evolutionary and re-evolutionary consciousness. One is, reminded of Nikola Tesla, who said that if you want to find the secrets of the universe, you have to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So let us thank and applaud Dr. Anirban Bandyopadhyay for a very stimulating and insightful talk. I thank you all for your participation in person and in online mode. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bandyopadhyay, for kindly accepting our request to deliver a talk in this conference. Thank you very much, Professor Sukhdev Roy, for chairing this session. Now we move on to the highlight of this conference, the vision talk. And now I invite our Honorable President to kindly introduce Revered Professor Prem Saran Satsangi Sahab.
I am humbled for this opportunity. Most revered Professor Prem Saran Satsangi Sahab was born on 9th March 1937 in Varanasi, India, on his tall.
डॉक्टर बंदोपाध्याय ने सारी चीज़ें सामने रखी, उनको जो अनुभव हुए उन्होंने एक एक करके सारी चीज़ों को शेयर किया। और बंदोपाध्याय वैसे कोलकाता के रहने वाले हैं, पश्चिम बंगाल के, लेकिन उनका जो कार्यक्षेत्र है शायद जापान में रह करके वो सारी ये अनुभूतियाँ प्राप्त कर रहे हैं। और वो राधा स्वामी मत के साथ साथ रामकृष्ण मिशन जो है उस पर भी, उसके माध्यम से भी वो काम कर रहे हैं। शायद ये चीज़ मैंने फील की है। तो खैर, ये वीडियो आपको ठीक लगे तो इसे सब्सक्राइब करें। और आप कहाँ से देख रहे हैं ये वीडियो, और उसका लिखना बिल्कुल ना भूलें कि आप कहाँ से देख रहे हैं, किस शहर से देख रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये इंटरनेशनल सेमिनार है। हम चाहते हैं कि देश विदेश में भी ये सारी चर्चाएं हों और लोग उन पर अपने विचार रखें। तो खैर अब मैं, चूँकि वीडियो काफ़ी बड़ा हो गया है, इसलिए मैं अब यहीं समाप्त करता हूँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच। मैं आरबी सिंह यादव।